Hey guys, Al DeMarco here, and this is going to be your Thursday video report. Money saving discount coupon code coming your way in just a moment. That'll save you $20 off of any single purchase you make today, Thursday. It's a one-time usage coupon. Plus, I'm going to break down every single one of your NFL preseason games, giving you a free pick on one of them, because to be honest with you, it is an absolutely lousy baseball card today. So I'm going to give you all the notes, all the research that I compiled on each one of these games, because ultimately, as I alluded to a couple of days ago in one of the video reports, betting and winning in the preseason all comes down to information. You've got to be able to know what the coach's intent is. Do they care? Are they simply evaluating players? You've got to know what the playing rotations are going to be, not only for the quarterback, but for the offensive line and for the first team starters. You've got to know about the quality of the second string and, more importantly, of the backups, because they're going to see the bulk of the action, the guys that are competing for roster spots. And the game even changes more here because of the NFL work stoppage, because all these teams, coaches are at a disadvantage, players are at a disadvantage because they didn't have all the practices. Many of them didn't get their playbooks, especially the free agents that were signed, the non-drafted free agents signed as well, until just a couple of weeks ago. My God, you've got a quarterback starting tonight, the future of the Arizona franchise, the Cardinals acquiring Kevin Cobb from Philadelphia, who has had just 5 practices, and he's starting tonight. Now, what makes this preseason, I think, also different is that you always have the advantage, as I say. No matter the season, no matter the sport, in the first couple of weeks of the season, it's the only time you have the advantage over the odds makers. Here, this year, right now, the here and now, you have an even bigger advantage over the lines makers. I have a bigger advantage over the odds makers as well, because they are at the same disadvantage that the coaches and the players are. There's nothing to base anything on. You didn't see anything going on in terms of, having the potential to evaluate these players during training camps. What you see is what you're going to get tonight. And again, I think that firmly enhances our advantage over the odds makers. So more about preseason football in just a moment. Before I go any further, guys, I've got to say thank you once more to Derek Mancini. Of course, if you watched yesterday's video report, you got all the details and the code on how you could get Derek's play for free yesterday. It was another 30-dime play, and he cashed in once more. The Orioles as a $1.10 home dog, 6-4 over the White Sox. That was his 30-dime winner number 3 in a row. 16-7 run with those 30-dime releases. And each of the past 4 weeks, Derek has been kind enough to allow me to give away one of his plays for free. They've all been 30-dime plays, and he's hit 3 out of 4 of them on the house. You've gotten them for no charge. So thank you, Derek. As I've often said, these handicappers, of course, are all independent contractors, so it's hard to get them to agree on saying hello to each other, let alone to give away their plays to you for free. But again, I do appreciate Derek, and I'm sure he'll do something like that again next week. He's a very agreeable type of guy. Also, want to talk about Anthony Red. A-Red last night cashing in with a 60-dime play on the Blue Jays, 8-4 over the Oakland A's. That was a 60-dime winner, number 5 out of 6. His net profit now in all sports combined the past 44 days, 726 dimes, which means a $10 better has won $7,265. Tonight, 60-dime winner number 6 of 7 going. It's his run line lock of the year. It is on the Thursday night baseball card, so that is available from A-Red. Bob Valentino's been in a little bit of a slump here lately, I'll be honest with you guys, but he still has done pretty darn well with those 60-dime baseball releases. Number 13 out of 18 going today. Another game in the Brewers-St. Louis series. Again, his overall run, 17-9 with his last 25 baseball releases, good for 475 dimes of net profit. Now, let's talk about the money-saving discount coupon code, guys. It is going to be pre-20, P-R-E, and the number 20, no spaces between them, P-R-E and the number 20. That'll save you $20 off of a single purchase that you make today. That is pre-20, and that'll save you, again, $20. Just enter that coupon code when prompted to save money. As for me, guys, tonight I've got to tell you something. It has been one heck of a run for me in baseball over the past 6 weeks. I cashed in again last night with a 15-dime winner on the Cleveland Indians in a 10-3 rout of Detroit. 52. 35-1 run in baseball over the past 48 days. So it has, as I said, been a very nice 7-week run here. Tonight, though, however, I think it's a lousy baseball card, and I'm turning my attention to football with my 15 dime winner, number 11 out of 14. 15 dime winner, 11 out of 14, every bit as strong as last night's play on the Cleveland Indians. And as far as my NFL runs, well, I've won 8 of the last 9 football seasons, 83, 67, and 5 in the NFL over the past 3 years for 268 dimes net profit, which may not sound like a lot, but again, always remember that 99% of my plays are rated between 5 and 15 dimes, and those 15 dime plays, 33 and 20 run with them the past 3 years, 10 out of 13 in baseball over the past 3 weeks, and the same 15 dimers that I'm 26 and 11 with in the NBA over the past 2 years. Remember how I made you a fortune with them in the NBA playoffs? I've got a 15 dimer going tonight in preseason action, as my lone selection tonight is I'll take a pass on baseball. Now, let's talk about some of the various preseason football notes I want to go to tonight. Let's run them in Vegas order here. First of all, Philadelphia. Michael Vick and the starters are going to play the first quarter tonight, Andy Reid says. However, that starting lineup will be absent. Both starting wide receivers is Deshaun Jackson, who recently ended his holdout, and Jeremy Maclin, who was ill. Both will be out, which means Jason Avant and Riley Cooper will be seeing the bulk of the action in terms of the starting set there tonight. Also, the Eagles a little banged up on the defensive tackle position, as Mike Patterson and Trevor Laws will both be out. After the starters give way, Vince Young is expected to play in the second quarter. Then it's going to be Mike Kafka, the second-round pro out of Northwestern, seeing action in the third, and Gerard Johnson, the former Texas A&M quarterback, playing. Nope. I don't think it's him. I think maybe it's him. I can't remember the guy's name right now. Drawing a mind blank, and I'm not going to go and research it here and start this report all over again. Anyway, fourth stringer is going to play in the fourth quarter. As for Baltimore, Harbaugh says that Joe Flacco and the starters are going to play most of the first quarter. Flacco then will be replaced by Tyrod Taylor, the former Virginia Tech star quarterback, who could play up to 2.5 quarters before giving way to Hunter Cantwell. Baltimore's defense a little bit banged up, as especially in the secondaries. Both their cornerbacks, Jimmy Smith and Dominique Foxworth, are doubtful for the contest. And remember, the Ravens pretty much have rebuilt their receiving corps. Let Derek Mason and Todd Heap go. Dante Stallworth and others have walked as well. Also a little banged up on their offensive line, as their starting center Matt Burke is out for the preseason, and their starting right tackle will also miss tonight's game. For Jacksonville and New England, of course, as you know, David Garrard is going to miss tonight's game, which means Blaine Gabbert, the rookie out of Missouri, is going to get the start with Luke McCown and recently re-signed Todd Bowman seeing backup duties tonight. The starters are only going to play a series or two, according to Jack Del Rio, who says he wants to evaluate the rest of his team, but that means Gabbert, though, however, will see some extensive action here this evening. As for New England, Bill Belichick says he's treating this game as the same preseason opener as any other preseason, so the strike has absolutely no effect on his thinking. Hey, listen, if you watch Belichick over the years in preseason play, you know that he rarely cares about the outcome of games, and it's all about getting the second and third teamers in there. So don't expect to see Tom Brady seeing a lot of action here tonight. And truth be told, Brady and his receivers have struggled to get on the same page so far, according to reports in this preseason. Now, for Seattle, whole mess of changes, especially on the offensive side of the ball for Pete Carroll's team. Tavarius Jackson brought in to be the new starting quarterback after Matt Hasselbeck was exiled. Sidney Rice brought in from the Vikings as a free agent signee. The advantage that Jackson and Rice both have is that they're playing under offensive coordinator Darrell Bevell, who used to have the job for 5 years in Minnesota. After Jackson takes a seat tonight, Charlie Whitehurst and an undrafted rookie, Josh Portis, expected to see action. Do note, since this is a nationally televised game, it's starting at 5 o'clock local time in Seattle. By the way, Seattle also has a new kicker in Jeff Reed and a new tight end in Zach Miller. As for San Diego, you won't see Antonio Gates. You will not see linebacker Larry English, starting left tackle Marcus McNeil, cornerback Antoine Cason. They are all out tonight. Phillip Rivers in the offensive line. We'll see about a quarter or so of action. Most of the starters, just one series of play. Don't expect to see too much out of Ryan Matthews or Mike Tolbert either tonight. Jordan Todman, the rookie out of Connecticut, will probably see some extensive ball-carrying duties. For the Denver Broncos tonight, you know all the deal there with the quarterback controversy. Kyle Orton expected to start. Tim Tebow coming in next, followed by Brady Quinn. As for Dallas, the debut of new defensive coordinator Rob Ryan, who, of course, had his new scheme. He's installing it, but that installation has been hampered because, of course, the work stoppage. And this is a team that gave up a franchise worst 436 points last year, 200 more than a year ago. Tony Romo's first game action since October 25th of last year. However, he did organize extensive offseason workouts during the lockout and has reportedly looked very sharp in training camp. Starters will play a series or two, except with the rookies and the offensive line. Um, you know, Dallas has a lot of injuries here as well. Their starting center, Andre Garrard, starting guard, Montre Holland, nose tackle, Jay Ratliff, linebacker, Keith Rook, and cornerback, Mike Jenkins. They're all out tonight. A couple of backup running backs, the veteran Tashard Choice and the rookie DeMarco Murray, they will not play tonight. Starting quarterback Terrence Newman's probably going to miss the entire preseason. For Arizona, I told you that Kevin Cobb's going to start, even though he's just practiced 5 times for the team. The coach says that they'll play him probably a little more than usual here as he gets acclimated to the offense. Arizona, big loss on the defense, so starting safety Adrian Wilson out till at least the opening game of the preseason, a regular season, with the torn biceps. For Oakland, it's Hugh Jackson's coaching debut, first game as a head coach for the Silver and Black. They'll be without Darren McFadden, Jacoby Ford, also another wide receiver, Lewis Murphy. They're out. 10 starters back on defense, but you know they lost the best guy on that defense, the quarterback that signed and went to Philadelphia. They also lost tight end Zach Miller and left guard Robert Gallery to free agency, so that certainly hurt them. Now, who's going to be the free pick tonight? Well, guys, when I look at all the lines here in these games, and I'm really surprised that there hasn't been extensive movement on these numbers, as the public, always gets infatuated with the public teams. For example, we've seen some movement with New England going from 3 overnight up to 3.5, and now 4 in most places. However, the game that I like tonight the most, I'm going to go ahead and take a shot with the Seattle Seahawks tonight. I actually don't mind their quarterback rotation. I like the Seahawks here with Pete Carroll, who last year, if you remember, played preseason games as if they were life and death in his first season at the helm. So I'll take Seattle plus the points as your free pick tonight. Good luck, everybody, and I'll catch you again on Friday.